Okay, so we're trying something new. We've got 3 McCanns and 1 Breedlove at Guston's, or
Guston's.
it could be Guston's. I don't
Probably
know.
Guston's.
Could be.
I read it as Guston's.
Used to be a biker joint, and you could come in here, and if you were a biker in leathers and helmets, but then they stopped that. So, anyway, it's a good place to eat. If you're into the Swole 90, that's where the Swole kids from Teenage Skinny Boys will be coming to eat almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Hannah,
Andy.
yes, she has been like on this crazy journey of becoming a dentist,
Radiation therapist, anyways.
radiation therapist for years.
Yes.
So she just went crazy and decided to go sugar-free.
I did.
So
For Lent.
for Lent,
40 days. of no
40
sugar.
days.
Yes.
Which is huge considering like how many things that you tried to eat had sugar in it. Or
literally
didn't try to eat.
everything has sugar in it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to make my food for every single meal, which is just so inconvenient.
Did you meal prep or did you like
No.
no? Well, did you find any go-to meals or snacks?
Well, snacks, almond butter and rice cakes.
Yeah.
I have eaten so much almond butter, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which has so much fat about, like we talked about in your last, or I don't know when it was, but
Yeah.
your other podcast about sugar.
Yeah, last podcast. Nobody knows the time frames on these are so weird. I just I released one for coming up Tuesday that I did in 2018 because it's still the same information. So who knows? When we're doing these, we're like in a flux capacitor DeLorean.
Yeah,
we
who
just
who knows when this one's
I don't
gonna
even know
come out.
when it might come out next year. We'll see. You
Yeah,
might
but anyways, the almond butter,
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of it, but that's all I ate. That is literally all I ate for snacks, dessert, anything like that.
Yeah. And
because
so
you can't really have anything else.
you can, but you have to experiment a lot.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
got some great alternatives like peanut butter.
But it has sugar in it, right?
Not all peanut butter.
Okay.
Well, okay. So that's a good breakdown. So when you did, so some foods naturally have sugar in it.
Yeah.
Other times they totally add sugar to it. So
Well,
you found that
at
out.
the beginning of it, I was cutting out like all sugar. Like I wouldn't do honey or maple syrup or anything like that. But eventually I broke down and had to do honey. Like it was just, I needed something sweet in my life.
So what was the thing that drove you to like, I need it? Was it like tongue or was it mind or was it time frame?
Oh, definitely in my mind.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Because I don't know, just the almond butter wasn't cutting it for me for a while, and then so I tried to cut out flour as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of gave up on that too. So I would do Ezekiel bread.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where I was putting almond butter and honey on it just to make it sweet.
Okay.
So
Well, and so your tongue does change over time.
Yeah.
But it takes time to get there. And almond butter and rice cake. So interesting, you add a lot of almond butter, which has a lot of fat in it. And of course, everyone knows fat makes you fat.
not true.
Yeah. It's
Not
weird, isn't
true.
it?
It is so weird. I was eating probably more fat than ever in my life and losing weight.
Yeah. So interesting, they tell us for years that makes you fat. But it's sugar and bread that, yeah. Ooh. So we're at Guston's and they just gave us mood lighting. So now
Oh.
our table is very moody. Yeah. Okay, so why did you decide to give up sugar? Why pick that one? Because you could have given up like fish or cursing or
Well, I don't know. So I
because you
just
curse
feel
like a sailor.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Just kidding, Mom and Dad. If you listen to her podcast, she never cusses ever.
So really, in Corinthians, when Paul talks about don't be mastered by anything, I feel like I am mastered by sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Because after anything, like after just any meal, I'm like, oh, I gotta have something sweet. I gotta have something sweet.
Right.
So I don't know. That was like the biggest thing. That's like why I took
Yeah.
did the 40 days of no sugar. I was like, oh, this would be great for Lent. I can give that up. But yeah. And
Yeah.
now it feels like it's really hard to go back to wanting to eat sugar because I broke my fast after the 40 days and felt like crap when I ate. Oh my gosh.
So did you journal any of that?
No.
Okay. So not to say this. I mean, do whatever you need to do. But similarly, which is interesting, I also don't like when things have a hold on me. So I routinely, if I find or somebody points out, like, hey, you're addicted to whatever, or that's got a hold on you, then my natural desire, which it took me 50 years to figure this out, is to run away from it or to stop it or to thwart it. So I felt like sugar, like these guys know.
Yeah, you tell them about it.
No, you tell them. Well, you can get the mic.
he would go through Chick-fil-A drive-thru and get like a chocolate milkshake and like half a dozen chocolate chip cookies, and then eat them on the way home.
And nobody was in the car with me, and Chick-fil-A didn't care. They're like, "Are these for your kids?" No. So yeah, I was like big time, and so that was after the second time or the first time I tried to get out of sugar.
Okay, but I bet you didn't gain any weight eating like that either, though.
So okay,
You definitely lost weight after getting off sugar.
yeah. So I was also every time we'd go out to eat, I would order the darkest beer, no matter where we were, as long as it was like legal, like not for breakfast, but like give me like a Guinness. And so I bounced. So the first time I got down to like 152, and my dad said, and I'm normally about 175, and my dad, who went through chemotherapy, he was doing radiation therapy,
No
which is
way.
what you do, right?
What in the world?
You give people back rubs with radiation.
Yeah.
Sure.
We went to lunch, and he said, "Andy, you look like one of my friends in the oncology department." So I was too thin. I was like, okay, I need to stop this. So I cut way too much weight. I had like lines in my face and whatever. People were like giving me money on the streets because they thought I was like sick. So I stopped and I went the other way. So I was just about to hit 190, and I'm like, that's not me. I've never, or maybe 180.
Who's got the saddle?
Thank you.
So.
That's
Yeah.
gonna make for great noise.
No, that's perfect. That was a waiter. He was awesome. He also looks like he works out a lot. So
Maybe he goes to CrossFit.
I think he's probably goes to the meathead gym. I didn't mean to say it like that. You know what I mean? Place where you just lift. Gold's Gym. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I was about to hit either 180 or 190 or something, but I was like, these are numbers I have never seen before. I'm doing something wrong. So I did. Right? And so actually, I think the story is we went to DC and we went to the Marine Museum, and one of Evan's friends, because kids are so darn truthful and honest.
I hate where this is going.
Yes. So there's a pull-up bar, and they're like, "Hey, Mr. McCann, jump up there and do pull-ups." And I'm like, no, that's okay. And then so one dad jumped up there and he did like 2 pull-ups. And I was like, "Hey, good for you, Dad. That's awesome." And then another dad jumped up there and he did like 10 chin-ups, right? And then Evan's a new kid at the school, and they're like, "Mr. McCann, you do it." And I look at Evan, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and like build me some street cred." I'm like, "Fine, whatever." So I get up there and just knock out like 20 kipping pull-ups and drop down, and this kid goes, "Wow, Mr. McCann, you're pretty strong for a fat guy."
Oh, kids are the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I was like, okay, it's over. I need to stop doing this. So that's interesting, right? So anyway, that huge segue was for really to say, if you write it down or make a video to yourself and tell yourself, "Hannah, this is me after eating whatever. I feel like crap. My stomach hurts." And just keep telling yourself that and like looking at the video.
Yeah,
that
I
had-
definitely should have done that because it's also, I was like binging after, like anything sweet, I was like, yes, I gotta do it because I knew on Monday I was gonna start back with the no sugar because my body felt so much better, but yeah, and that obviously the binge eating with it is just terrible.
Yeah.
And all the sugar and just,
Which then counteracts the, hey, I can eat the peanut butter and stuff which has fat in it, but now I'm adding sugar back into it, which is like doubly bad all of
yeah.
a sudden.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So if you write it down or speak it into your phone, voice to text, I like doing that even though it comes out with the wrong words all the time, or do a video to yourself, which is even better, like, because then you can see yourself say it and you're like, "Oh, that's true, I did feel that way." Weirdly, I know people say journal, it helps. Yeah. So if you can journal that experience.
Well, like the first 2 weeks, like when I started my sugar fast, I was feeling hungover one day. Like, I guess when my body detoxed all the sugar, and I'm just waiting for that to happen again after I have my little binge weekend. So I'm waiting for that because that was awful.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
It may not happen the same way because the first time you detox, it's like getting everything out of your system from like, what are you, you're 18? So
Yeah.
18 years of,
Yeah.
Everyone was
Yes.
so much younger than me.
I am 18
Yeah,
years
thank you,
old,
you're
yes.
welcome, yeah. Or 21, and what's the right age to tell people that, is it?
I mean, I'm 25.
Yeah,
so you
25,
can say
I know.
that if you
So,
wanted.
Coach Danny is always, I'm always like, "You're 28, right?" She's like, "Andy, seriously?" I'm like, 35, I don't know how old she is, but I'm always like in my head, "You're like 28?" She's like, "No." Whatever. When you get this wise, one thing that you aren't wise at is guessing ages ever again. So you detox from all the stuff you had before. So this one won't probably be as bad.
I hope not.
Yeah. Or if it is, record it and be like, hey, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I'm not as strict with it this time because, like, I even cut out fast food because, going out to restaurants because I didn't know what they put in their food. So there's really no telling what's in this chicken I just ordered or anything. There could be sugar. Like I was talking about, my garlic salt had sugar in it. Why?
What?
Why in the world
Right.
do you need
You
that?
expect ketchup to have sugar in it.
Yeah.
But mustard? Garlic salt? Actually, this one's Heinz, and I know typically it does not have, I can't read that, but I don't think Heinz mustard, it's usually like mustard seed vinegar and paprika or something.
Yeah, this one doesn't have sugar in
Yeah,
it.
but if you read the tomato sauce or
there's
the,
definitely sugar in
like the
that.
second ingredient is probably sugar.
That's ketchup.
I mean, ketchup, yeah.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
Tomato sauce, whatever. And then they have a disguised sugar, probably.
Actually, I don't see sugar on here.
Oh, there's sugar. It's probably.
But
like,
there's corn syrup.
Yeah, that's sugar.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they disguise all the names. I'm curious, on the mayonnaise, there shouldn't be sugar. But there probably is. I can't read any of that. I still can't read it. Weirdly, it didn't
Do you
change.
need glasses?
I do. Not only do you need glasses, I need like suspenders. I need a.
Yeah, there's sugar in here.
In the mayonnaise?
In the mayonnaise.
Oh, dang. Because I used to use that. I don't anymore. So you
There's
said you
probably
had very
sugar
few.
in that pepper.
Maybe.
There's no telling.
And no so typically going out to eat, you're limited to like ham salads, no dressing,
Yeah.
steak. Hopefully they don't put right.
Yeah.
So I think the more you do this, the more you find options, and you can try different stuff. So did you try pickles and olives? Did you?
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda?
I mean, I would eat a pickle here and there, but it never really cured my hunger or my sweet tooth or
Right.
anything like that, so I just avoided them.
So it's a craving, right? So it gets in your head, and it's like, I just don't have something to satisfy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is by far the hardest thing to go over. Did you try the? Did you try the? Put chocolate chips in your mouth and let them just melt away?
No.
No.
I didn't try that because also I was giving up chocolate. So really, I don't know. It'd be easier just to give you a list of the things I didn't give up.
Yeah.
But I bought the Back to Human brand chocolate chips.
Okay.
Apparently it has no sugar or anything like that, and they're pretty good.
Well, then they probably have sugar. It's called
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
So that's the thing you have to ask
But there's no
yourself.
cane sugar.
What's that?
There's no cane sugar.
Okay, so then you have to rate these sugars, right? So when they were developing, what's the pink pack of sugar?
Oh, Sweet and Low or Splenda?
Yeah, when they were developing, I think it was Sweet and Low, the guy was making a rat poison. And he put his finger in it and he touched it to his tongue or he had some on his finger and he licked it on accident. He was like, oh, I just licked rat poison. And he's like, that's sweet. So they turned rat poison into a sugar, a sweetener, right? So on the scale of like, if I had to pick like what sweetener to use, what would be your first sweetener if you had to pick sweeteners?
Gosh. I don't know now that you've said that.
Well, I mean, Kate, take that out of your head. What would you consider, hey, this is a good sweetener, I can use it?
Gosh, I don't know. That's a good question. Probably
The right answer is none.
None, truly. But now I feel like if I want to sweeten something, I'll use like maple syrup or
Okay.
something, or honey.
Yeah. Okay,
But-
so yes to that. So honey would be number one.
Yeah.
The weird thing is most maple syrups are just colored high fructose corn syrup. You actually have to, if you go to like J. Christopher's or Cracker Barrel, you actually have to ask, can I upgrade to maple syrup?
That's crazy.
So you might just be putting brown.
I mean, I get like the organic, all
There you go.
natural. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I'm trying to look up what's in this chocolate.
Yeah, now I got you worried?
Yeah.
So here's the thing though, don't be worried, you're on a journey, right? And so you'll find things and you just do the best you can, right? Like you said, it was 40 days, that's what I was doing. I'm not doing it now, but you learn stuff and you could probably make wiser choices,
Thank you.
right? Maybe make wiser choices, I don't know.
Oh, definitely. I mean, my body felt so great after not having sugar.
Yeah. And you're in working out?
Yeah, and I was in the gym like almost every day, and that gave me like more incentive to do that.
Right.
Because it kept me busy.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is too, if I'm busy, then I won't possibly eat some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's kind of like rewind back up or whatever. So what got you into CrossFit? One day you showed up and you're like, I'm doing this thing. Or you were, no, I take that back. You were already doing it. Because I remember you came in, I'm like, wow, you move really good. I think I'm done coaching you because I'm leaving. Bye-bye. And you're like, yeah.
You did all the work.
Yes, that's right. I did it all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think I did CrossFit for the first time in high school. I tried it out. Like someone had a Groupon or something for it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. But then never did it again after that. And
Where was high school?
What?
Can I get some more?
Where did you go to high school?
Oh, Pickens High School,
Pickens
North
County,
Georgia.
that's north. Okay,
Yeah. It's like 30 minutes south of LJ.
Yeah, did they have electricity there?
No. No electricity.
Running water?
No.
No.
And so when, I think it was my sophomore year of college, actually, I decided to sign up for CrossFit, and ever since then, I just kind of, I don't know, I loved it, I've been into it. I took a year off, though, one time, and that was the hardest thing, getting back into it.
Yes.
Ugh, it's awful.
So knowing where you were, and then when you're like, I got to get back to there, it can be frustrating.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Don't let yourself think of that. Just be like, I'm on the journey. Every day is the day that I'm here and I'm moving along. But it's weird the number of people who come back and they're like, well, I can't hit my PRs. I'm like, yes, you took 10 years off.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
I know, I still have
Take
all
a deep
my
breath.
numbers from like 2017.
Yeah. So I could actually, every time anybody comes back, I tell them, look, I can take your account and just give you a whole new account so you don't have any of those old numbers.
Yeah, that's smart, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. You want her water?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I thought they were.
So, did you do gymnastics or something like that growing up?
I did cheer and tumble in high school.
Okay, that's it. Because you were like, you cued very well. So, and you can tell people who've heard like, people who can't do, like in my mind, it's always like the old Russian coach with big beer belly saying, extend your arms. And they can't do it, but they tell you, and you guys like receive it, and you're like, I'm like, yes, make me cry, right? So any gymnasts or tumbles or cheerleaders or whatever, they usually, what do they call it, kinesthetics, have great body or proprioception, some word, I don't know. They use that word.
But it's crazy though, because a lot of the gymnastic movements that we do are so hard for me, like, I guess toes to bar is one of them, and for the life of me, cannot get them. Cannot.
Interesting, but all the lifts you're pretty good on.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So if we try to eat with these going, we'll probably smack into the thing.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit pause and see if this works. If it doesn't work, then I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Hopefully it turns back on. So everybody, we're going to take an eating break. Yeah, it did turn back on. Okay, we're going to eat break now. Okay, so that was a good meal. We kicked the kids out because they're just annoying and they were telling too many embarrassing stories about me. So I think you were saying that you lived in Pickens and you're like, I'm going to do some CrossFit. I did cheerleading.
Yeah, and then so I moved here, or I did CrossFit in. It was called CrossFit Oconee. It was in Athens. Yeah.
In Athens? I knew that.
Yes,
Evan's in Athens right now.
Yes, he needs to try it out.
Did you know that guy that came by, he was here for 2 weeks and he totally lifted, we were doing like his first day, we were doing split jerks.
Oh wait, yes, I
and
do
he's
remember
like,
this guy.
I want to do, can I do 485 billion pounds? I'm like, yes, because I want to see this.
He was from Athens, right?
Yeah, he was from here. I was like,
yeah, but I don't think he went to the same gym.
Oh,
I
no?
Because
Okay.
there's one like downtown Athens, and mine was in Watkinsville, which is the town over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
yeah, I wanted to see him. Like, did you sign a waiver? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, lift it. Let's see. And he did. I was like, everyone's just staring. I'm like,
yeah,
that's just.
Everyone, I feel like everyone in Athens in general, they take CrossFit so serious.
Oh,
the
really?
gym there was insane, yeah. They would have like different random classes. Like we had an engine class where it was just focused on running or cardio in general, not just running. But so I would do that on Monday and Wednesdays and then do just normal CrossFit WODs Monday through Friday. And probably the best shape I've ever been in.
Right.
But,
well, it's interesting. So at college, most people, college is not the best shape they've ever been in.
No, well, like I said, I took a year off. COVID
Okay.
times, I took a year off and gained a few pounds.
Everyone in COVID did wrong.
Yes, but that's when I got back into CrossFit. I was like, something's got to change.
Yeah.
And so, then I moved, came here, and like within the first week, I think I found a CrossFit gym, your gym. So
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I was like, well, where else did you go?
No, just
And-
CrossFit garage.
Was it, so many people say CrossFit is intimidating, I can't go in there. you are at that time, so you said you're 20 something, I already forgot.
Yeah, 25.
Okay, 25, so you showing up, because it's been like 2 years, so you were like 23. So you're walking into this gym, and the first person you meet is probably, well, it probably wasn't me, but could have been me, and you're like, this old dude, he smells like mothballs, has gray hair. So
I honestly don't even remember who. It might have even been Jamie, but
Probably
I had
was
to text
Jamie.
you first.
Okay.
And you
was
said,
I appropriately creepy, or was
no,
it?
you were fine. You just said, I'm going to give you my manager's number
There
or
you
something
go.
like that. And I was like, oh gosh, because I had to muster up the courage to even text you in the first place. And then you're like, I'm going to transfer you to someone else.
Oh, that's interesting.
So-
Okay, so I didn't think about that. So I feel like Coach Jamie, so as a female, she can talk to females easy,
Yeah.
and guys will talk to her easy.
Yeah.
As a guy, the guys will talk to me no problem. And if I do a no sweat intro with a girl, I'm like, so tell me what you're looking for. Normal stuff. They don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
But like Jamie would be like, people open up and tell me life stories. She's like, I don't think I need to know this much detail. But
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I feel like me and Jamie really hit it off at first. Yeah, very easy to talk to her.
she is so easy to talk to.
Yeah, she is.
She's always like, Andy, I want this. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
she just gets.
And I think my first one was snatches.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna hate this gym so much. I hate snatches. I hate them. And what is the workout where it's like do 30 snatches or something?
Is it
X
Elizabeth?
amount of time?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's like heavy snatches for time.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
And it's crazy just to see like how different CrossFits do things so differently, like
Yes.
the programming and everything.
Well, and so there's a difference between the gyms are affiliates and we're not franchises. So basically, they're like, if you'll pay us a certain amount of money, like I think it's now $3,000, you can use our name, CrossFit. Good luck.
That's insane.
And that's all they give you. And so there's a lot of bro gyms, like dudes who just like, I'll just start a gym. And
or like the gym right beside.
yeah, well, yeah, and so sometimes they tank because you don't have no idea what you're doing. You don't know how to run a business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you overthink it like me, and you still don't know how to run a business. So I've run a lot of businesses out of business because the joke is it's always somebody else, right? But really, if I have a business with business partners, and 1, 2, and 3, and they all fail, the only common denominator is me.
Yeah.
So the problem must be me. So I'm trying to what is wrong with me to make things? Some things have gone well, some things have not gone well. But I think that's also just random luck of the business. Like, did you hit a home run? Did you say the right things? Did you find the right group of people or something?
Right.
So anyway, so they can be very different because it's an affiliate.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of random, but pertaining to different CrossFit gyms.
Yeah.
The gym in Athens, they were very much focused on like hitting PRs all the time or lifting as heavy as you can. Whereas when I came here, I realized, oh, my form isn't as good as I want it to be when I'm going heavier. And everyone was okay with me like taking a step back, like, okay, if you want to work on that, just do that. And I think that's really important because form obviously is.
So it should go
The most
form
crucial part.
before weight before speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like let's say you want to do a 95-pound front squat. Well, if you can't do 95-pound front squat, don't do it in the workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if you can do a 95-pound front squat, but that is like your 1 rep max.
Yeah.
So you haven't mastered it yet. That's your top end. Don't do that in the workout.
Right.
So-
But I'm also a sandbagger, so it's hard to know where the line
Well,
is with me.
and so in these 2 months, I've been using percentages because it's hard to sandbag your percent. So
Yes.
as long as you have tried and been here a while, your numbers are.
My numbers are so inaccurate though.
Well, this is good. So when you go to
Yeah.
do it, like today, it was 65% of your thruster weight.
Yeah.
And if you do a lot of them, Modify will update your percentages.
Yeah.
So it's
I guess
going to
I should
know.
have put that in there too because, and I didn't, but I used.
So you thwarted me. You didn't.
I know. I used 55, and I think I did 12 each round.
Yeah. So if you only logged it in the workout, it won't know. But if you
Right.
log it in the thruster section, it'll update your.
Should have done that.
You can still do
Yeah, I
it.
can
It's
go
still
back to
online.
it, yeah.
So the idea of the percent is, if like the other day we were doing something and like you were like, hey, 135 looks easy to you. I'm like, it's not. It's just that we get to run and I get to be kind of fresh when we come back in. So 135 is a tough weight for me in many ways, except for maybe back squat. And if like Matt Janda is going to do 135, that's like a joke to him.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, that's like appetizer.
Yeah.
So the workout's not even the same workout. So what is it, Grace, where it's clean and jerks? 135 clean and jerks for time, 100
Yeah.
or 135 pound clean and jerks for time. For him, Grace is like it's more about my lung capacity. For me, it's like, I cannot even lift this weight up.
Yeah.
So it's a total, but when you do a percent, as long as you've tracked it, then you know, like, that's a more even workout. Like it should hit us the same way.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt in Monday's workout, the overhead squats. I never in my life would I thought that I would use a run as a break.
Yeah.
And I could not hang on to that bar long enough. I was like, when are we going to get to the run?
That was
so
awesome.
Nice.
That was you and CJ. That was
yes. He passed me, and I was like, what in the world is going on? Like,
so,
gritting my teeth. Like,
I saw it in your eyes when you. So CJ, if you're listening to this is great. This was a great coaching. I felt awesome. So he comes in before you, and then he's starting to do his overhead squats.
Well, because the whole time I had been ahead of him, I was like, okay, like,
and this is why
I love
CrossFit
the
works. Yes. So you want to compete healthy, right?
Yeah.
So nobody's like throwing each other under the bus. So for all those people who are out there who are thinking, hey, I would like to do something, but CrossFit sounds scary. We've got a 25-year-old. No. Yeah, 25. Yeah. And she's like, hey, this is fun. And there's even this creepy old guy with this white hair, me. And it works out. But you compete against yourself.
Yes.
But you also compete against other people.
Right.
And yes, he's doing more weight because he's a guy.
Well, you also have people to look up to, like Sharon. Anytime Sharon does it, I'm like, what would Sharon do?
Yeah,
what would she do in this situation? What did she use?
She wouldn't put the bar down. She wouldn't.
And I often find myself like looking at her times and what weight she used.
Yeah.
And even working out with her, she's like such a good motivator too.
I just want my score to be something like 2 times Sharon. I'm like, that's good. I'm good.
Like I told you the other day, I tried to keep it within 5 minutes of her.
Yeah.
And I mean, barely I made it, but barely on Monday.
So you should, yeah, you wouldn't have seen it. So she has been with us long enough that she has had 2 babies while working out. And this one time she came back, and I'm like, are you sure you can be back here already? She's like, I asked the doctor. And I'm like, you mean yourself. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. You know what you're doing. But yeah, she was doing like kipping pull-ups with a baby inside.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so cool, but I feel like I should be saying slow down. But she totally rocks it. And then Joe too. He's like so unassuming. He's
that
like,
whole family is just awesome.
Hey, watch me, I'm about to crush it. Or Jake, the other day he came in when we were doing the open. He's like, well, I just did muscle up burnout, and the workout happened to have muscle ups right at the end. It was like 23.1, the first one, and so he'd already done like 200 muscle ups or something. So I'm like, that is so crazy. You already did all that, and you're coming back. But
no, I had to do the bike right beside him one day, and I was like, this hurts my ego. I cannot do this.
So he also trained. In Colorado, he was a mountain bike instructor, so he has like serious mountain biking legs. So whenever the air or the Echo bike comes up, it's like you just do that.
Just go outside, get away from me.
I'll just. So you can compete against other people. So you're competing against CJ, and I saw it. I could see it. This is cool for me. See it in your eyes. So he's like, I'm ahead. I got this, but he drops the bar. And I saw you look at the clock, look at him, and you were just like bit down. You're like, whatever, I am not letting go. And you just kept going. I'm like, this is awesome. I should video, whatever. But
my legs were hurting so bad.
But you pushed through it.
Yeah. Well, that night, actually, I had a cramp in my. I woke up with a Charlie horse. I'm like, oh my gosh, this stupid overhead squats.
So you know how to fix that? Roll and stretch after you work out.
I actually have on my compression socks today.
Do you?
To get rid of that cramp.
Yeah. So, or roll and stretch. So even though like my back is my nemesis because I chased a 400-pound deadlift. Why? I don't know. It's got a 4 and it has 2 zeros. It sounded good.
I hated it.
And my back, once I got it, was never the same.
Yeah.
And so now every day my thing is roll my back, roll my glutes, roll my thighs. I'm pretty much good, but I do it every day so I don't mess up. Okay. So you can be young, you can be old.
Yes.
You can be a guy, you can be a girl.
And people don't understand that, like, you can do whatever you want in the workout. You can modify it however you need to. And people just don't understand that. They just think of CrossFit as extreme.
Right.
So.
Very valid, yes. And it doesn't have to be.
No.
Like, literally, if somebody came in and said, I'm just going to, like, actually, I've done this. I'm just rowing today because I don't feel right. Then you're like, hey, I'm here. I see my friends. I have accountability. I have the routine.
Yeah.
And I'm just rowing, whatever. Right? Or I usually tell Danny, I'm about to underwhelm you. She's like, great. And so like that the Monday that was overhead squats and run, I think I did 35 pounds. And then I think I jogged the run.
Yeah. But you hadn't worked out for 2 weeks.
That's true. So very valid. It took me like 20 years to figure out that if I go on vacation, I should take a little bit of time rather than just...
you have to listen to your body.
I know.
And I'm bad about that too. Like, I just love to run
Which is good to have a coach.
Yeah.
And the coach should be like, hey, remember when you did whatever? And you're like, I do.
Yeah.
Do you think you should do that again? You're like, yes, I should. You're like, no. The answer is no.
Yeah.
So what have you found? What was like, so you did CrossFit in Coney. You come here, you can do whatever you want. Was there any sort of like particular, I know, a high, low, or a buffalo from changing gyms, or just in the 2 years of?
Honestly, I think that the programming is very different at the gym. So it's just like a lot to adjust to because, and it was also my body. Like whereas some days I would do 2 workouts because I would do that echo class where I would do the cardio class, and then right after I would do the regular CrossFit class, and then coming here, the way it was just structured was different. And like I told you, they were very focused on lifting heavy. Like we would take a big portion of our time to lift, and it's like I would like get sweaty, really sweaty. Like that's half of my workout right there is trying to lift heavy. Whereas I feel like you guys aren't as focused. I mean, you are focused on lifting heavy, but not like as much.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna make some notes. Yeah, no, I'm gonna make notes so I can remember to. I don't want to interrupt. Keep going. So.
And I think we do like longer WODs sometimes. And then I feel like we'll do more gymnastics in a week. Or I've noticed like some weeks will be like gymnastic based, and then others.
Well, these 2 months are going to be definitely gymnastics because I saw. If you had been doing this for a while, like say me, and it's like, hey, we're doing handstand walks. Great, I actually have that, and I can do that. But most people haven't spent as much time doing these things. So I'm like, okay, if we only touch handstand walks once a quarter, you are never going to get them. The only way to do it is that we actually say today and this week and this week and this week, we're doing a focus. So these 2 months, the focus is let's get those gymnastic skills down because you'll never get them unless you actually practice.
Right, no, I like that a lot. Another thing I would say is I don't know what if they like mess with the numbers of the RX, if you could even change RX, or can you change numbers like that with whoever writes it?
Not a named workout because then it's like written in stone, but it's what. So you keep going. So what about the numbers? Too heavy?
I feel like their numbers were way heavier than like your numbers because I can like RX a lot of stuff here, whereas there I was like scaling everything.
Yeah. So there's the thing in CrossFit in 2008 when we started. 95 pounds was like the standard for a dude, and 135 for dudes was like, oh, you're doing 135. Darth Vader is here. This is gonna be hard, right? And now 135 is the normal. 155 is kind of up there, and 185 is kind of the hardest. I'm like, who went and did that?
Yeah.
So the games athletes are just so much stronger that they've moved everything up. There's no reason for that. Like, if we know that everybody is going to scale 135, then why are we even doing that? Because the intent of the workout, there should be an intended stimulus in the workout. Typically, CrossFit's sweet spot is couplets and triplets. So thruster and a pull-up, Fran, right? Or triplets, add in sit-ups. So I'm doing 3 things, 2 things, whatever. And then the sweet spot is the 8 to like 14-minute time domain, or 12 minutes is kind of like where intensity can stay revved up. You get some of the cardio side and some of the, so it's a great, usually a great place where intensity kind of aligns with all the other things like muscle stamina and whatever. So we try to aim those things so that it doesn't, I guess it depends. If the workout was, I really want you to struggle with deadlifts and have an active rest, like you said, hey, running was my rest, and I could like breathe and feel my shoulders. Yes. And when does that happen? Well, can I push myself? Is it the right weight? So there's a lot of things to kind of like I guess land into, and time is what does it. I learned my body, I know them a little bit better or whatever.
Yeah.
So the lifting. So you mentioned that in 2010, this guy John from Brand X, who created CrossFit Kids, he said CrossFitters aren't strong enough because of the games. They saw that normal humans couldn't lift what they lifted, and if they want to go to the games, they need to be stronger. So he introduced strength-biased CrossFit, which means you're always doing some sort of lift. We disguise the lift as in, hey, we're about to do thrusters, so let's do some thrusters. But some of them are like, do a 5x5 back squat, and we're going to do Fran. You're like, a 5x5 back squat, like real life 5x5, like all about health, those like big dudes, Mike and Steve, 5x5 is like 2.5 hours.
Right.
It is not 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're just asking for someone to get injured, and it's hypertrophy, not CrossFit. CrossFit's like, functional movements executed at high intensity. It's not just, just lifting. So a lot of gyms are still on that, which is like, we will just lift or we will prioritize lift. But you'll see, I think it's this week, I think it's this week, there's a 3-rep max coming up. And I wrote in there like, hey, if this is your jam, stay here the whole class and get your 3-rep max like really settled in.
Yeah.
But most people don't care. They're like, I'll take 20 minutes and get it, and then whatever I get, I'm out. And then I'll do some sweaty thing. But if you do the lifting right, it's sweaty as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah.
OG CrossFit would say, hey, today is a lift day and that's it.
Yeah.
If you want to really go heavy. You see, the other one you said was double. So this is the hard one to get people out of. In CrossFit, less is more. So if you can give more intensity to the one workout rather than doing 2 half-ass, then weirdly it's like the cutting out sugar and eating almond butter. Fat doesn't make you fat. So too much doesn't actually help. It actually do more with less, which is crazy that do more with less.
Well, that's one thing I noticed too, because once I stopped doing the engine class when I came here, I kind of noticed like I was still like, you know, working out less, but then like eating about the same and losing weight. So it was crazy.
Right. Yeah. And so that's right. So in that, so it is good to track and measure those. The hard part is like, I would say 90% of the women that come in say, I want to lose weight. I'm like, so we're going to gain muscle.
Yeah.
And muscle weighs more. So could we say, how about like, how does your dress size go or whatever, like, or step on the BMI scale?
Well, that's with this whole sugar thing. Like, I did drop a few pounds in the beginning, and then I kind of felt like I was just stuck there. But then, like, going down a whole pant size.
Right.
So, I mean, I can see it with my physique as well, but then, like, the scale is going to look different because I do CrossFit and lift heavy and all the things.
But the metric of society is, what does your scale say? You're like, really, let me tell you how much I can back squat, right?
Yeah.
They don't, it's such a hard, so literally, the scale is just your mass with gravity. So if you want to go be lighter, just go to the moon and weigh yourself. You'll definitely be less because there's less gravity, right?
Right.
So it's the makeup of your body, and I think that's so one for new people is it seems scary and extreme. It's not.
Yeah.
The coaches are there to help you. You can do whatever you want, and it seems like it's against the scale. Well, sort of, because we're going to give you muscle, but muscle burns calories even while you sleep. So technically, by getting muscles, you're actually getting a higher metabolism.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know how many girls listen to this, but honestly, I would not. Girls, just stay off the scales because, I mean, our weight fluctuates so much as it is. So just
preach
stay
on,
off
sister.
Of it.
If I could,
stay off.
Because of the proximity bias, you can't tell the close people to you. So I have daughters, and I'm like, hey, you just don't, and they're like, Dad, no. But if you tell them that, they're going to be like, wow, Hannah said the scale is not a great indicator of your health. I'm like,
it's not. It's not at all.
It's not at all.
I mean, if you look at even, I'm sure if I got on the scale now, it would say obese or something, or not really, but what is it? Your BMI is like.
The BMI is the right way to go because it measures your it's your body mass index. So it takes the lean muscle mass out. So your skeleton, your muscles, your veins. So it actually uses math and science to do it. It doesn't really measure those things. It says, out of all these statistics we have, here's a table. If the current going through their body measures and the weight is here and their height is this, then we assume on this table they're that, which you could not be on the table. It could be totally wrong, but chances are it's right.
When I look at what is it, like what did you say, your weight,
It's weight,
water?
height, and then when you hold the handles and your feet are on the little pads, it has an electrical current that runs through. So it's the amount of water that it's conductive through, which is why you can't use the scale after you work out, and you can't use it after drinking coffee, and you can't use it like there's certain times of the month that can't use it, right? So there's like very particular times that you can use the scale, and you have to use it at the same time to get equivalent results. So I'm always using it at 5 a.m. Okay, perfect.
Okay, well, with my scale, it gives you like the fat percentage of your body or whatever, and like I looked it up on the BMI scale, and it was like overweight, not obese. That was a little dramatic, but overweight, and I'm like,
right. Well,
really?
And so that's so they don't, for sure, they're not taking into account what we do in terms of muscle.
Yeah.
And so some of those charts, I mean.
That's why I have to stay off of it, because I will get so into it. Like, it's not even the number on the scale, it's all the other numbers that are like, I'm like constantly Googling, like, BMI, what's the normal?
Right.
Why am I considered obese?
So now focus on sugar and just find a new thing to fixate on. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some of these other questions. And anything else that comes up for sure, but let's see. Actually, this is good for me to know. How did you actually find our gym? Was it just Google or?
I think I just Googled it, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, are we even the closest gym? Do you have to drive by 19 gyms to get here?
No, it is the closest.
Okay.
I had actually asked CrossFit Oconee where the best gym was, and they had said...
they didn't say us. Don't say who they said. Don't say it.
Okay,
They didn't say us. Just
okay.
say, oh, Oconee.
Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know
them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't say us, but you found us
No,
anyway.
yes.
So Google search. So I typically will tell people, so we have people who, like Rome, Georgia, they'll call me up. I can see the number. It says Rome. I'm like, hey, are you actually in Rome? Yeah. I'm like,
you're not going to want to come here.
Did you say CrossFit near me? And Google or Siri or whatever was like, I'm like, we're not even near you at all. You don't want to come all the way down here. It's a 2-hour drive just to come work out. There's like 3 CrossFit gyms in Rome, so don't do that.
That's funny.
So, do anybody else in your family, did you convince anybody to CrossFit yet?
No, I've been working on my mom, but she's like, no, I can't do that. I'm too old. Mind you, she's 55.
Yeah, I'm 55.
Yeah, I don't know. But
tell her you know some old guy that does CrossFit and it's working out just fine for her.
I literally tell her all the time.
That there's some old guy doing CrossFit?
I literally say there's some old guy there.
He's
he
so
has
creepy.
gray hair. No, I'm just kidding.
I do. I have a lot
But I
of
tell her all the time, like, it's for anyone.
Yeah.
It is for anyone. You can modify it however you'd like.
What if I gave you and anybody else a bring your mom class and
my
did a
gosh,
special
you should.
class? Okay, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Will you spearhead it for me? Find other people in the gym because I would totally like to have.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to be a mom, but like we should all be doing this. So feebleness is chasing us down, and if we don't do something, it's going to win.
Yeah.
And you're going to have like examples. You probably see this in the industry you're in. People can't get up and down off the toilets. And you're like, what are you doing? I have no fitness. I mean, literally just sit up and like, you don't have to do that much. You just show up.
Yeah.
And the coach will take you through everything.
Well, I actually treated this girl who was a CrossFit coach one time in clinical. She was actually lived in Rome, Georgia. How funny. But she was I don't even know what she was. Anyways, so she was just getting treated. She has breast cancer, and she was just so good about everything. Like, she would get up off the table and go. She had such a good spirit about her, and I think it's truly because she was like staying active, and so
they have this fitness continuum that CrossFit preaches, and I'm always a little like shy about preaching like you know, Guston says Guston has the best food, right?
Yeah.
So CrossFit says our health pyramid is the best. I'm like, you know, don't define a word with the word, but they do say this, and it is neat. So you've got on their wellness continuum, on one side is I'm sick, on the top of it I'm well, and the other side of it, like think of a rainbow, and the other side of it I'm fit. So if you are fit, your biometric numbers, like my resting heart rate, my blood pressure, all those things, have to go from fit into wellness, where most people are, when you're sick. And then to get sick, you have to get even worse. So a lot of times when CrossFitters are sick, they don't even feel sick because we are going through wellness before we hit actual sickness. So it is interesting. I've heard they had this one lady who had a car wreck. I feel like it was like a big name, like Tia Toomey or something, but that's not who it was. But some big CrossFitter name. She was in a car wreck, and her neck was bothering her after that. And she went to the doctor, and they said the only thing holding your head together, like your neck and your spine, is all the muscles you have.
Oh
so
my gosh.
they're like, you have like a break or a tear or whatever it was in your neck. We need to operate right now. You could like cut your nerves. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I do play one on TV, but yeah. So you can Google that. It's like, I guess do CrossFit car wreck neck. It'll probably come up.
what in the world?
Yeah. So yes, I will make it a personal mission to help you get your mom in here.
Yes.
If she has other moms that want to come in, or if we can find other people, if people in the gym, if you're listening to this, Hannah's mom wants to come in, find other moms that can come in. Or if you're a mom, come in at that
Or
same
really
class.
just, like, I love how we have a bring a friend for free week.
Yeah.
Because even though only one of my friends came,
We should have dumbed it down. I made it too hard. Not dumbed it down. We should have made it easier.
Yeah,
But
well,
people
she did
ask,
that
like,
to
can we,
herself.
I want
She
to
did that
show
to
what I can
herself,
do.
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And I'm sure it doesn't help when I'm out here doing all this stuff too. It's just like, oh, I gotta be in competition.
I got to get it right. Which is fun to compete, but you're
But
like...
I will say it did. Like, another one of my friends like, oh, Zoe went. That would be so fun. I want to
So
do it.
the next one will come up in September,
Okay.
I think. So what are you doing now with your new fitness? Like, do you have a thing coming up? Do you have an adventure race or
No,
frisbee
I
golf?
I don't. I would actually like to do one of those races, Spartan race maybe.
Oh, we got people
where
doing
you
Spartan
get,
races
you
all
get
the
money
time.
or whatever.
Yeah,
That was is that the one?
I mean, you can't get money, but you have to like really kill it. So all of us are just getting dirty and gross. But
Okay, well, I think that would be so fun to train for.
David Wallace and Kirby and Skylar and Chris all do those are big Spartan guys. Me and Randy and Amanda and Shayna do those adventure races, which
What
is
is
like
that?
you get a map and a compass, and then you're on a team, and you jog, mountain bike, and canoe to different checkpoints in the woods.
Absolutely not. I cannot
No?
do that. I cannot do that. You lost me at mountain bike.
Well, so the one that we're going to have everyone try to do is Swamp Fox.
Oh, is that the one that's on the
Yeah,
wall?
and it's,
Okay.
it's flat, so you don't really have to know how to mountain bike.
Oh.
You just need to know how to bike, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think
but
I
it's
could
flat.
handle that.
Yeah. So Randy said, "Do I need any special training?" I'm like, "You do CrossFit, you'll be fine." And so,
Are
what
you sure though?
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
totally fine. What I
Okay.
didn't tell him was you need to drink enough water and have enough electrolytes, and so that's for real because we have more. In general, we have more muscles, and muscles you're gonna eat those electrolytes up. So you need to like really be on top of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So Amanda and Shayna are usually at the 9:30 class.
I know them, yeah.
Yeah, and they enjoy. They won't. They said they would go do the Swamp Fox, but so far they've been like, "We're not racing with you." And I'm like, "I don't smell that bad. I mean, why would you not race with me?" Yeah. So I think one cool thing about this is if you, or CrossFit in general, is if you have a fitness, like a way to showcase it, like play pickleball or climb Stone Mountain with your mom and be like, "Whatever, woman,
Yeah.
look at me."
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah. So anyway, put a goal out there. All right. Let me ask you this one. Ooh, what unusual habit or absurd thing do you love that you feel fine telling people about?
Gosh, that's a hard question.
No? Yeah? All right, we'll think about that.
Okay.
We'll skip through that one. Okay, so if you had a billboard, like we rented this billboard out beside the gym, so if you rented that and you could put whatever message you wanted up there to the billions of people who drive Highway 92, it's not a billion, but whatever, and they could see your message, what would you tell them?
All these hard questions,
not hard.
Andy.
Come
Oh
on.
gosh.
What's your like ethos for life, right? Like what would you tell?
Gosh, I feel like it would have nothing to do with CrossFit.
That's totally fine. I mean, it's about
I feel
you.
like it would just be like spiritual.
That's
you know?
good.
Like,
So Rebecca's was
Probably be
Jesus
like a
loves you
Bible
or
verse
something.
or something,
Oh,
yeah.
which Bible verse then?
okay. Oh gosh. Well, right now, the only one that I have been fixing my mind around, which I would not put this up on a board, but it's Romans 12.
You're going to hell? No.
Romans 12:9, love without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil, cling to what is good.
Oh yeah, I like
But
that.
I would not put that on a billboard.
Oh, you could.
But that's
There's
just
a
like
lot
what
of
comes
weird
to
stuff
mind.
going on in the world right
Yeah,
now.
that's
that
true.
As a 50-year-old man, I don't even understand how some of this stuff is possible. I'm like, I feel like I blinked,
Yeah.
and like, I'm like, I can't even understand.
Oh, you know what? Be mastered by nothing. I know it's in Corinthians.
yeah, I like that.
I mean, I'm sure that's not exactly what it says, but
Sure.
I don't know. Paul just really hit home there. Like I told you, that's like what kind
The,
of my sugar thing.
yeah, the addiction. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're all mastered by things like our phones, for example.
Oh man.
Or
Do you look at your screen time?
I do.
Do you have to like throttle yourself? As you adults, do you have to like turn on like?
Sometimes, like, and I've also been trying to not sleep with the TV on.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like my sense of comfort when really I need to put everything away and just go to sleep naturally.
So there are, I think, like 6 things that help people sleep. Do you have trouble sleeping or?
no, I sleep
Okay.
just fine.
So there's 6 things you can do to really like get better sleep, and it's fascinating that they've worked these. I just love that they've narrowed down so much because we can study. The information age is here. If you want the information, they can refine it and all that. I listen to my phone. I listen to a podcast at night to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And if my mind is spinning, I put that in, then I'll go right to sleep.
See, I've tried that,
Yeah.
and it doesn't help. I'm
Oh,
just
no?
over there thinking the whole time. Like,
Even through the podcast?
through the podcast.
Okay. So weirdly, mine's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. So I don't really care what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's just like entertaining.
Yeah.
And so I'm like 3 seasons in. I almost have no idea what's happening because I just keep it going.
Yeah.
But so I guess I'm not sold on the story. It's just whatever. But it keeps me from.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my mind just, even when I write it down, my mind will just keep spiraling.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So TV in the bedroom is. We only have I think we have 2 TVs in our house, where most people these days have 19 TVs.
I know. I wish I would have never started because I remember in high school there was a period where I didn't even have a TV in my room.
Yeah.
So it was so nice. But
Yeah. Well, weirdly, you can affect that.
I
You're
could.
The master.
But I'm mastered by it. I need
But
that TV in my room. Like, what if I'm sick one day and laying in bed, I need that TV
Could
there.
you CrossFit. You could lift it up and put it back.
Yeah, you're right.
You could
Then
put
I
a
just have
blanket
this
over the top of it.
huge hole in the wall now because it was hanging there.
Oh, I guess it's true. If
Well,
it's hanging
that's
on the wall.
dramatic, but yeah.
Yeah. I forgot. Ours are. Yeah, I guess they're hanging. I don't know. So that's the absurd thing. Then it's not absurd. Actually, most people do that. TV and to go to sleep too.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. My wife does a lot of YouTube on the phone. So I can go to sleep to like people poking me or kicking me or a dog licking my face. Yeah.
That's another thing. I had to delete TikTok for Lent because talk about being mastered by something. I would spend hours upon hours just scrolling on TikTok at the most pointless things.
Well, the algorithms get you. They know what you like, and they like. I will be gotten by the people who like squeeze zits. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's so good.
And I'm like, why do I like this?
Yes.
Well, they know it. They're like, of course that's addictive. I'm like, this is disgusting, but I'm watching. I'm like, I want to throw up and I want to see what happens.
Yes.
It's so
going back
disgusting.
to your other question, what was it? The
absurd thing you love?
absurd thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is absurd. I don't know that I love it, but when I was fasting from sugar, I would have people eat sugar right in front of me, like a cookie or something.
Did you slap it out of their mouth?
No, I would just watch them and like live vicariously through them. Like I know how good that tastes. I know it.
So I made a lot of cookies, and my wife goes to Bread Becker's, and she gets it's a bucket of wheat. It's the grain. We put it through a mill, so it's the freshest flour you'll ever get. We have organic sugar, which I didn't know that was a thing. We have organic marshmallows. No, we don't. But I mean, everything is like the most wholesome, best in like.
Say, make me some cookies.
Yeah, no, and so we would do this, and it got to a point in my family where we would all have a cookie spoon, and the cookie spoons got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It was more like a cookie shovel.
Yeah.
And we would just so I don't make them anymore because I don't eat sugar and I don't eat grain because
that's how
grain's
I feel
a
about
delivery.
almond butter though. I would start off small, like with the serving size, like 2 tablespoons a day, and now I'm like half a jar a day. I mean, I would literally go through a jar a week.
Yeah.
I still do that, actually.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. When you combine sugar and grains back with the fat, it does have bad reactions.
Yep.
So it's weird. So I eat a lot of fats and a lot of meats.
Mm-hmm.
Probably most people would say that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But if you take away the bread and sugar, it's weird. It's like the math isn't the same as the normal, like MyFitnessPal, calories in, calories out. It changes the math a little bit.
Yeah, no, something's off. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but something's off.
So the other thing on the almond butter, if you try the different brands, so I must have gone through like 50 different peanut butters and almond butters to find ones I like. And so I have a lot of like half jars. I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't know.
I actually just subscribed to Thrive Market, where they like deliver it to you, and it's all organic apparently. But the almond butter is very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
So if you find one you like, then it becomes an easy staple.
Yes.
The other one, things that help me for the sugar is doing those like Justin's peanut butter packets.
Oh, see, I would do those, but they have like some oil in it, palm oil maybe or something.
So sugar is my thing. If it's got like rapeseed oil or palm oil or cannabis oil, and like whatever, one thing at a time.
Any kind of oil.
Yeah, sugar is what I'm looking for. So, but those things, like when you're hungry, you're like, I'll do that. So there was a time when I would work out with one in my waistband so I could warm it up.
Oh my gosh.
So I could have because it's easier to eat when it's warm. No, I just would get hungry. I wasn't eating. I was fasting through breakfast instead of breaking my fast. I was keep fast. I did keep fast, which is And so by the time lunch was coming around, that was very good. Thank you. So by the time lunch came around,
keep that in there.
Yeah. See, he's like, get out of here. Could you give us our seats back? I tipped him pretty good, but I guess he doesn't care. Anyway, I don't even know what I was saying now. He distracted me. I'm too tangential. Okay.
You were breaking your fast.
Yeah.
You're not breaking your fast.
So I had the peanut butter to kind of get me through. Otherwise, I got a little
near and dear to you.
Angry at people. So what excites you most about the future? Oh, that's a big question.
That's a loaded question. I don't know. Goodness. What?
All the money you're making?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say in this season of life, I'm just excited to probably buy a house. That's exciting. Yeah.
Not right now. Wait about a year. They're
Yeah.
gonna crash like.
Well, so my lease
Led
ends in
Zeppelin.
July.
Okay.
So it's gonna be pretty soon.
Ooh. So can you time it with your lease? Yeah. Well, they're still building. There's stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't know, like a cute little townhome downtown Woodstock. That would be very exciting.
Downtown Woodstock, I think, is really expensive.
It is expensive.
So if you're like cute little town, it's like I don't know, it's like $2 million for like a
Yeah.
like a 400 square foot building.
Well, so there's these little cute ones that are like not quite downtown,
Okay.
but I forgot the name of it, but it's on that road. I
Yeah.
mean,
Is it called near Woodstock?
I don't know what it's called. But I was looking it up, and like, just the little basic one was like 700,000.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yes, they are. Don't do
That's
it.
insane.
Wait a little bit.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know how the prices. So that's my main gig as landlord, and I haven't bought anything because it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
But
Well, in my head, I'm gonna get a really good deal on something, so I'm just gonna keep telling myself that.
so you will if you hoard your cash
Yeah.
and then wait.
Yeah.
And something's about. I mean, the whole economy is so weird.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, even like with this business, our landlord is like, I'm jacking up your rent because I can.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang it. And then everything we buy, they're like, we're all raising our rates by like 10 or 15%. I'm like, well, dang it. And so, yeah, this whole thing. So houses are doing the same, but they can't stay the way they are.
Yeah, I know.
Because it was insane what people were paying for tiny little properties.
Yeah. Prices right now are still ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I think, so, yeah, that would be exciting. Get a house. Then you can mow the yard.
I think I would just hire someone to do that.
So that is the thing that people don't consider is that when you buy it, it sort of buys you.
Yeah.
So it becomes the master of you when you get stuff.
But if it's a townhome, though,
Well, that's a good point. Usually
surely
they have people
someone
that do
else
it.
is going to do it for me. Yeah.
Usually they do. Or there's usually a teenager that you're like, hey, will you mow my yard for $20? They're
Yeah.
like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because this is my plan. Like, buy like a cute little townhome now, live here for X amount of years, and then eventually I want to go back home to Pickens County,
Well,
and then just rent out that townhome.
oh, that's actually a good idea.
So that's my life plan.
So that's what I did. So our first house, we were blessed to have a weird. I'm a sales guy. I was a sales guy. We caught two budgets for our main customer in our one budget year, and so we're like, what do we do with this extra money? How about we pay off our house? So that's where we started with it, and then we just moved out of there and we rented it, and we used them to help us like knock down the other mortgage.
Yeah, it's so smart.
I mean, it's Robert Kiyosaki, right? And he did this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. You should read it. It's great. But basically, what I got out of it is any idiot can do this real estate thing. I'm like, hey, I'm like just above any idiot. I'm like maybe a little bit smarter. I can do
you
this.
only have an engineering degree.
True. Yes. And if you go to
You
Georgia
only
Tech,
went to Georgia Tech,
yeah, if you go to Georgia Tech for an engineering degree, you'll see that some of those people are still idiots. So I think for many years I was still an idiot. I'm as my daughter would say, I'm a pretty good middle schooler now. I'm like, come on now, what? Yeah, so you can grow out of it. That's a good plan. I like having rental property that's close,
Yeah.
so that it's not like in Phoenix, and you're like, well, how am I supposed to get there? So Woodstock to Pickens. What town are they in Pickens?
What do you mean? Oh, sorry, Jasper?
Yeah. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my kids and I have been talking about the landlord empire to build, and they're like, if we stay here, the prices are up. But if we go to Ball Ground between Jasper, I bet you the prices are better.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, but then there's not as many people.
There's
I'm like,
nothing in Ball Ground. You don't want to live in Ball
No,
Ground.
that's where you want to do it. So you want to get there before everything else.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
had you been here in 2000, people are like, you live in Woodstock? That's stupid.
Yeah.
And if you had gotten here in 1980, it probably was stupid back then. But I mean, all of this stuff, except for Guston's, Guston's, which was a biker bar even back then.
Guston's.
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know.
My kid, Levi, was very adamant that it was Guston's or
Guston's.
whatever he said it was. All right, so what else you want to tell the people out there? All 27 people who download this podcast.
I don't know. I don't really have any wisdom to share.
What? You got a job, you got CrossFit, you got fitness, you got a house coming. It sounds like you got it together. What's your favorite book? What are you reading right now besides the Bible?
I'm actually,
In addition to the Bible.
I'm reading a book by Jonathan Pokluda. It's called Why Do I Do What I Don't Want to Do?
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
No, but I listen to those books.
But it's basically about like deadly vices and sin and how to stop them. And
Right.
It's very good.
So many times people will say it's willpower. Just tell yourself to stop it.
It's just not.
It isn't, and it could be. So willpower is a thing you flex, just like a deadlift. You just have to build up with time. So easy willpower things are like, I will go to the gym.
Yeah.
I did. I will eat half of this and take the other half home. So if you flex willpower slowly, and by the end of the day, you're out of willpower.
Yeah.
So I love that analogy of it, right? So sometimes willpower plays a role in it. Other times, it's not willpower at all. It's like...
No, I feel like it's more discipline.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for me anyways. Oops.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
You're
hit
still
it.
there.
Yeah. So, but the book is very good. You should check it out. It's
I'm
very
going to
good.
put it in my phone right now.
Okay.
So what I do, I don't read much because my dyslexia. Ooh, will this still record? Okay, it's going to still record. So I use Audible, and I listen to a lot of books. And so tell me, oops, Audible is not loving me. I have to search for it. Tell me the name one more time.
It's Why Do I Do What I Don't Want to Do?
Ooh, okay. All right, I'm typing this in. It's that one right there.
Yep.
So I'm going to put it in my wish list. And now
Such
it's
a
in
good
there.
book.
So usually what I do is I wait for them to go on sale because they usually have a big September sale.
Yeah.
And I buy 30 books. So right now I'm trying to race Evan. My older son who's at UGA, he now listens to a lot of books. And I'm like, I can't keep up. You listen, I don't know how. And I listen at times 2 speed.
Yeah.
So what is the main thing in that book? Is to get you out of habits or to get you...
Just like sins that you don't even realize are sins, like pride and stuff like that. And it just teaches you how to be humble.
I'm the best at being humble, making me both proud and humble, right?
Yeah. And it's just like, for example, there's one about forgiveness and unforgiveness, and I didn't even realize I struggled with pride that much until then, or I didn't even realize I was holding on to things until I read this book. So it's definitely one you need to have your pen and paper ready, take notes, and just it's
So I usually
convicting.
listen while I'm driving or doing chores, so my hands are free.
Well,
I listen
wait till you get home.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of how do you stop the noise in your head, and so I'd like to understand anxiety more.
Yeah.
I don't. As a kid, I struggled with it, but I came up with my own coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
But now I can see some of my family having those issues, and I don't know how to tell them well, this is what I did, but here's a book that might.
Yeah.
So
this book kind of touches on anxiety a little bit,
good. Yeah.
because he files that under the pride category, because he considers pride to be anything as being shy or just anything like that.
Shy,
Which
that's
I mean,
interesting.
kind of, because if you think about it, you're not willing to get out of your shell enough.
Sure.
So
I would think of
just
that as
things
more
like that.
scariness or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, just his perspective on things is pretty cool. So. Yeah.
Well, and sometimes, out of all, I listen to a lot of stuff. I can tell the difference between a guy author or a female author, and the way they tweak it.
Yes.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
so, never having been a teenage girl, I get a lot out of the ladies that write because I have teenage daughters, and it's hard for me to understand. It took me. Well, Evie's my 4th kid, and she's now an 8th grader, and I finally am able to say, "Am I hug daddy or am I help daddy?" Right?
Yeah.
And maybe I don't say it like that, but you don't want me to solve your problems.
Right.
Weird. I get it. It took me. My oldest is 20, so it's taken me 20-something years of. Yeah, I think I'm a much better dad now that my kids are almost done. So I'm sorry, children, if you ever listen to this.
Well, I think the thing that I've realized is that it's their first time parenting. I have to give my parents a lot of grace because it's their first time. They've never done it. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell Olivia, hey, I am sorry. We experimented on you. We weren't really sure. We thought we were doing what's best, and I've revised my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think also when they get older, they'll be more understanding because, I don't know.
Right.
I'm
Well,
definitely more understanding now than when I was 20 years old.
Yeah, usually at around 25, your parents get really smart. Yeah. So that's I think a common thing.
Yeah.
But I am learning in some of these books too, there are things that I didn't know, as you hit 42, as you hit 50, I'm like, why don't people tell you about this stuff? I didn't know that was supposed to happen. Your eyes go bad at 42. I'm like, really? And my cousin's an optometrist.
They probably did tell you, you just didn't listen.
Yeah, probably.
Didn't apply to you then.
No, I had good eyes back then, but my cousin is an optometrist, and he's like, I said, is there anything I can do about it? And he's like, if you could, I'd be out of business. I'm like, Well played.
There probably is something you can do about it.
I don't know. Your eyes are like a weird muscle. It's the
Eat more carrots.
yeah. I don't know if that really works.
I doubt it.
I could do some radiation therapy on my eyes.
Oh yeah, it'd make you go blind.
If I did gamma rays, I could become the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Many people say that when I'm walking down the street. They're like, "Wow, you are so bulky, Andy."
The amount of times people ask me, am I going to glow in the dark after we give them radiation?
Oh, really?
I think they want to slap them.
Do you, you do have a radiation pin, though, that tells you
how much I've had.
And there's so many rads?
Very good.
I'm an engineer,
okay,
so
yeah.
I have a lot of the...
rads, ringtons, stuff like that, yeah. Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
I would have forgotten that one. Yeah, my kids... now that
Curie, millicuries?
oh, no, what's a Curie?
I don't really know.
She sounded
I thought
smart.
you would know.
Yeah, I don't know that one. It's funny, some of the stupid dad things I would say, now that one kid's at Auburn for engineering, she's like, oh man, they're saying those things. The other kid's doing computer science at UGA, and he's like, okay, they're saying your stupid jokes, and they got like, I kind of like binary or whatever, like, I get these some. So yeah, I've made a lot of stupid STEM jokes their whole life, which...
I mean, you're raising some smart kids.
It's my wife. She had like a 4.0 at Georgia Tech until she started dating me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
you ruined her.
I dumped her down, and she's never forgiven me for that. Okay, so this has been great. If you guys want to learn more about how to not eat sugar, there is another podcast, but also Hannah's at the gym. She would love to talk to you about.
Yes, absolutely. Come talk to me.
And if you're a mom who thought I should try CrossFit, we're creating a special mom class just for you. It's a one
also,
class.
Mom, Donna, if you're listening, come to CrossFit.
Donna, you better listen.
This is your formal invitation from Andy.
Yes. So, Donna, I have a class specifically made for you at a time slot that is perfectly fine just for you. It'll be you and your daughter and any other moms and children that want to come in.
Any of my friends. Come on.
Yeah, any of your friends. I'll give you a class just for you. So we're going to pick the movements that Hannah is best at, so that she will look awesome, and you guys will be like, what?
They're never going to come back. I like the dumb ones, like box jumps
right,
or burpees.
No, trip too many people. We're going to give them overhead squats because nobody can do them except me and you, and they'll be like, that's so hard. Rope climb? Are you doing rope climb? Yeah. We'll give them no, I'm just kidding. We will totally create something that you can do, and you'll see that CrossFit is for anybody, and it helps you be health and fit even in your 90s.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, high five. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.